Shalom, Israel. Shalom, Judah. Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praise and glory and honor to the Most High, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Title of this lesson, Brown Invaders, Black Traitors, Purge. Mexicans, Latinos, wage war on blacks. Brown Invader, Black Traitors, Purge. Mexicans, Latinos, wage war on blacks. And we're living in some very evil times. We're living in a very serious, crucial time, evil times. And all of these nations had came against so-called blacks, the children of Israel, God's chosen people, particularly here in America, Babylon, the so-called African-American Negroes. Okay? And there's a lot to cover. I might have to do a part 2. But these brown invaders, you know who they are. The Latinos, Hispanics. The majority is the Mexicans. California, starting in California, the West Coast, Arizona, Texas. And they're spreading. They're coming to the South, the East, the Midwest. But to make the long story short, it breaks my heart. It's hurting. It's a disgrace. Brings tears that it's not getting reported what these Hispanics, Mexicans, Latinos is doing to our precious brothers and sisters, so-called blacks, the blacks. Okay? The media is not reporting it. The politicians is not reporting it. These black politicians, these traitors that have sold their people out completely. Congressional Black Caucus has sold out completely. They're not reporting the violence, the crime, the bloodshed, the murders that Mexicans is doing to black people. Okay, in California, starting in California, LA, these Mexicans is killing a lot of our people, terrorizing them, using KKK tactics. It's not making the news, it's not being reported. And they don't want to report this. They don't want to report the violence because they want to give you the impression that blacks and Mexicans are getting along. That's not the case. Okay? And the biggest perpetrators behind this is Esau Edom, the so-called white man, the Caucasian man. Okay? They want to make it seem like Mexicans and blacks is getting along, but no, it's the very opposite. Okay? And they killing our people like crazy. It's not making the news. They killing our people in schools. They terrorizing our children in schools. The parks. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. And like I said, it's not being talked about. Very few of our people was talking about this. Very few. So, you know, a lot of the Mexicans, I should say, we do know they invaded LA, took over Compton, South Central. That was predominantly black 20, 30 years ago. Oh, no, I say about 30-something years ago or longer. But now it's 90% Mexicans. They have forced black people out. They have bombed black communities. They kill innocent civilians, blacks. And you got these Mexican gangs, okay? Mexican gangs, one of their initiations is to go kill somebody that's black, innocent, a civilian. So we had elderly men, our elders have died behind these Mexicans. I mean, old men in their 60s, 70s, and 80s. Grandmothers too. Babies, children. And not only that, a lot of our women and girls being kidnapped by these wicked, evil, predator Mexicans, these cartels, okay? Terrorizing, butchering our women and boys and kids, our children. And not to mention in prison that the Mexicans side up, the Mexicans join hand in hand with the so-called white man, the Caucasian man, Esau Edom, in prison. Okay, they join to come against the black man. Okay, they join in hand, they join with the Caucasian man, the so-called white man, to come against the black man. We have no friends. There's no such thing as a black and brown coalition. That was some BS with the black politicians have started. And Congressional Black Caucus have sold us out, completely out. They for the immigrants. They not just the black politicians. You also got the black religious leaders, your black activists. Okay? Not to mention some of these camps and the Hebrew Israelite community have sold out, saying that these Mexicans, Latinos, are Israelites. And that's a lie. All this propaganda, telling lies, trying to give away our covenant, allow them to come in the covenant. And they're going to be judged for that. They don't fit the curses, Bible prophecy. They never had a yoke of iron around their neck. They never was put in captivity. They never was sold as bondmen and bondwomen. Now, like I said, these Mexicans is terrorizing black people. They're killing so many of our people, it's a shame it's not even making the news. The LA files are so thick you can cut it with a damn knife. They finding bodies stacked on each other in the alleys, black bodies, in the dumpsters, okay, in the streets, you name it, in the alley, behind restaurants. And a lot of our people is being butchered, left with no remains. This is what these Mexicans is doing to our people, man. Okay? So, the so-called African-American black man, the so-called African-American Negro, the black man, Judah, that tribe, and we got some Benjamins and some Levites, is catching hell, particularly here in America. The black man, the so-called African-American Negro, is catching hell at all angles. All these nations is against us. Everything is stacked up against us, man. And, no one is really talking about this. We got African diaspora. Phil Scott is reporting. He's staying on top of it. Shouts out to him. And you got a couple of other people that's talking about it. But none of the politicians is not covering this. They run from interviews. They run from the reports. They don't want to address it. These are some black devils, and they got a great judgment coming to them. They did backdoor deals with these damn immigrants, these cartels, these politicians. Okay? Allow them to come into black communities, invade our communities, took from us and gave it to them, gave them all the resources, gave them grants, business, housing, and don't do nothing for the so-called black man and black woman. And these politicians continue to do this. This is why y'all need to stop voting and turn to the Most High power and His Son, Jesus Christ, Yahushua Mashiach Yasharal. Some of you call him Messiah, some of you call him Yahweh Shai, Yahabashim Yahweh Shai. Well, a lot of you call in the world Jesus Christ. So this is the time of repentance. But He's going to redeem. The Most High God, our power, and His right hand, His Son, is going to redeem the elect. Judah and Israel, the 12 tribes, Negroes, particularly here in America, Babylon, He's going to redeem us. And you Gentile nations, you heathens, you Mexicans, Latinos is going to get it. Now let me say this. You got Puerto Ricans on the East Coast. They kind of different from the Mexicans. They kind of ride. They kind of, get along with a lot of the blacks, And we got some Negro descent, Puerto Ricans. All right. That's part of the, or I should say, that was a product and came off the cargo slave ship. It's a good chance they are the tribe of Israel. Okay, they come from that bloodline: Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and the Dominican Republic. They got they pretty much okay with the blacks. A lot of the blacks, they got their moments, but none of the Latinos, Puerto Ricans, Dominicans, Colombians is nowhere near compared to the Mexicans, how they do blacks. Okay? So, but our brothers and sisters starting to see, some is starting to wake up and see how these Mexicans is on the East Coast and the South, because they're migrating, going to the South. They then took over California, then took over Arizona, Washington, Oregon, Nevada, Las Vegas, parts of Texas. They all in Chicago. They all in Detroit. They all in Ohio. They in the South, Florida, Alabama, Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina. They on the East Coast, D.C., Baltimore, New York. So, and they're waging war on black people. Okay, we ain't did nothing to them, but this is prophecy. We'll be hated by all nations. All nations will come against Israel, Jerusalem. Okay? So we living in some very serious evil times. Okay? The times are evil. Redeeming the time because the days are evil. These are evil times, evil days. So we got this big, this influx coming across this border. Illegal immigrants, illegal aliens. Okay? And it's going to be more intense, more trouble, more crime, more death, more bloodshed. But and we see where this going to lead to. Okay, we see where the trouble is coming, and then it's not going to be nothing like it. Okay, Jacob's trouble, Jeremiah chapter 30 verse 7. The last for that day is great, so that none is like it. It's even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he should be saved out of it. The men of the Lord, the elect of Israel, are the 12 tribes. Okay, Negroes, so-called black Negroes. But I just want to say these Mexicans, they're killing our people. And I'm going to say this. Let me say this. It's best for our people to get the hell up out of LA, California, even the Bay Area, Frisco, Oakland, Richmond, East Palo Alto, all of that. Vallejo, even in Diego. Okay, get out of California, period. Fresno, Bakersfield, Marseille, get up out of there. Now, I'm talking about, as far as Mexicans, I'm talking to for the collective, not an individual. We got some, very, very few good Mexicans that accept black people and know who they are, God's chosen people. And also, I know some Northernals up north. Okay, they nothing like Some of them ain't nothing like the Mexicans in LA. The Norteños, in fact, they like blacks and they help blacks sometimes. I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about as a whole, as a collective. Okay? But the Mexicans in LA, and it's the same in Washington State. You know, they're attacking black people, they're terrorizing black people. Tri-Cities, Kennewick, Pasco, Richmond, Yakima, even parts of Spokane, Moses Lake, and even in Oregon, Salem, Kaiser, and the list goes on in Nevada, Las Vegas, Reno, and the list goes on. Okay? To Texas, Houston, Dallas, Austin, San Antonio. The list goes on. All right? So, you know, all these nations will come against Israel. We're hated. Okay? They hate us. So the Lord is bringing judgment. All right? And he's going to redeem his elect. So these black politicians, the Congressional Black Caucus, Maxine Waters, Karen Bass, James Clyburn, Cori Bush, whatever her name is, Betsy, it's a whole bunch of them. They all sold out, took the bag. How the way they did their people was terrible. And not to mention the religious leaders, the activists. You got your pastors and sold out and turned a blind eye. Politicians and turned a blind eye, the black politicians. It's not making the news, okay? And they're not reporting the violence that these Mexicans is doing to so-called black people. The murders, the bloodshed, the crimes, the gentrifying the black communities. They're not reporting none of that, all right? But there was a news article came out. It says deputy admits gang affiliation shows tattoo in court. Los Angeles Times, for years, the existence of deputy gangs within the Los Angeles County Sheriffs. Now in prison, okay? In prison, they don't tell you this goes on and it's not being reported. That a lot of the correctional officers and deputies are Mexicans, and they give the gangs inside the prisons, the inmates, the green light on the blacks. In other words, they tell the Mexicans that's correction officers and the white supremacists, they all team up and they tell the inmates, the blacks, secrets, where to catch them, what time to attack them in the shower or whatever, on the or on the what you call that? I can't think, but anyway, they give them the green light. Okay, they dry. In other words, they tell whatever the blacks is doing, they report it to them and let them know. In other words, let them know they move so they can go ahead and attack the blacks. Okay, this is what's going on, man. So we got no friends. That black and brown coalition, it was never that. That's a bunch of bullshit BS. Okay? You never hear Mexicans say, yeah, my black and brown brothers. They never say that. It's us that includes them. They never include us. So you blacks need to stop that. Our brothers and sisters. And we the original. We're the so-called blacks. We're the gold original brown copper people. Okay? They call ourselves blacks. We say blacks because people recognize who we are as far as a people, as far as the African American Negroes. But we're God's chosen people. We are the gold people, the brown, the copper people, the brass people. All right? His chosen people. But anyway, as I was reading, It says the department has been a point of contention with officials like former Sheriff Alex Villanueva publicly disputing that the secret organizations even exist. Last week, however, a deputy testifying in court revealed his involvement in one of those groups and even displayed the telltale tattoo that alleged members receive upon initiation. Wow. Involvement in one of those groups and even displayed the tail tattoo that alleged members receive upon initiation. Deputy Jamie Warris said that during his time in the Compton station, he joined the executioners and was inked with a helmet wearing skeleton gripping a rifle, the Los Angeles Times reports. Commissions blast former Los Angeles County Sheriff. So they've been doing this for a while, man. Okay? It's gangs that come out of prison that become officers in Los Angeles. Correctional officers. Okay? Gangs that did time in prison and county come out being officers, police officers, and correctional officers. So this is all designed, planned to target black people, to wage war on black people, to kill black people. Okay? So we got this big influx now. All these people coming in, they stay over 160 countries. Okay? So we do know that the Mexicans, Latinos, okay, has been the main ones been killing black people besides the so-called white man, Caucasian. Mexicans and the so-called white man been killing black people like crazy. All right? And make it so bad. Mexicans, they're not being reported. 9 times out of 10, they get reported, but not like how the white man is reported. Mostly, a lot of the times, Mexicans don't get reported for what they do to black people. Okay, it don't make the news. Like I said, you know, they don't want you to think. They want to give you this impression that blacks and Mexicans get along, but that's not the case. We don't get along. All right? They terrorize our kids in school. You know, they fight. They come burn. They got the numbers. They come just they rush you. They follow you home. They bomb your house. They shoot your house up. They run in your house. They kill you. These people, man, and the Lord is going to avenge us. I can't wait, man. These people got to go. These people are wicked, evil as hell. These are not no Israelites. These are Gentile heathens. And they're going to taste that wrath from the Most High God. You have touched the apple of his eye. We are the apple of his eye, the children of Israel, Judah, and the 12 tribes of Israel, the so-called black Negroes. Okay? And I'm going to read some scriptures. So these are perilous times, evil times. So purge is here. And in LA, it's lawlessness. You can do they doing what they want to do. Okay? Just about all drugs is legal, just like Portland. You know? Theft is going. Home invasion, burglaries. They doing everything. Shooting, killings. You name it. It's taking place in LA. All right? So, and then you got them coming across the border. It's a huge influx. And they going all in the South. Okay? Chicago. Okay? Invading Chicago, New York, D.C., Florida, Georgia. Other parts throughout the country. Everywhere. This is Zechariah chapter 14, verse 16. And it should come to pass that everyone that is left of all the nations which came against Jerusalem Okay, Jerusalem is Israel of the 12 tribes and the Holy Land. Okay, shall even go up from year to worship the King, the Lord of hosts, and to keep the feast of the tabernacles. Okay, that time is coming, man. All right. And it says, and it should come to pass, I'm going to read it again, and it should come to pass that everyone that is left of all the nations which came against Jerusalem should even go up from year to worship the King, the Lord of hosts, and to keep the feast of the tabernacles. I power the Most High, His Son, and the Holy Spirit, the angels and the elect, the 144,000 and the 1/3. This is Zechariah chapter 12. Now let's go to Zechariah chapter 2, verse 8. You have touched the apple of his eye. For thus saith the Lord of hosts. After the glory have he sent me unto the nations, which spoiled you. For he that toucheth you toucheth the apple of his eye. And they spoiled us, these Mexicans, these Latinos. Okay? Even the Cubans has been killing a lot of our people in Florida. All right, but not to the degree like Mexicans. All right. Like I said, Puerto Ricans, we had our good turns, we have our bad, our ups and downs, but still, they still kind of ride with black people. But you got some, the white Spaniard Puerto Ricans, they not with black people. But you got some, but Mexicans, Latinos, they've been killing black people, afflicting black people, persecuting black people. And a lot of the police officers and sheriffs and judges are Mexican, Hispanic in California, Arizona, Texas, Oregon, and Washington. Okay? Let's go back to Zechariah chapter 2, verse 8. For thus saith the Lord of hosts, after the glory hath he sent me unto the nations, which spoil you, for he that toucheth you toucheth the apple of his eye. So y'all that touched us, you touches the apple of his eye. Y'all have touched the apple of his eye. Who is the apple of his eye? The so-called African-American Negroes, the so-called blacks, the tribe of Judah and the 12 tribes that's scattered. Judah that's scattered in the 12 tribes is dispersed. Okay? You have touched the apple of his eye. We are the apple of his eye. Judah, the 12 tribes, the so-called African-American Negroes, the so-called African-American Negroes, the so-called blacks, okay? The gold, the dark brown brass people, okay? We the apple of his eye. You damn heathens, Gentiles. And you got it, you gonna get it. This is Zechariah chapter 14, and this is coming. This is the time we're living in right now. Behold, the day of the Lord cometh, and thy spoil should be divided in the midst of thee. Okay, we're the spoil. Okay? We the ones that's afflicted, persecuted. All these nations that came against Israel, the so-called blacks, the Negroes, Judah, 12 tribes. Okay? The Lord is going to redeem us. And when he redeem us, it's a wrap. Y'all gonna get it. Y'all gonna be devoured. And y'all gonna wish y'all never did this. Y'all gotta come. Great judgment is coming to you Gentile nations, you heathens. You Mexicans, Latinos, and even Esau, Edom. Starting with Esau, Edom, Moab, Elam, Ishmaelites. You Arabs gotta come in too. You Asians gotta come in. Chinese, Japanese, Koreans, Moab. Okay? Yeah, the Philistines. All of you got to come in. The Cushmite, the Cushites. You got to come in, man. The Hamites. All of you got to come in. Behold, the day of the Lord cometh, and thy spoil should be divided in the midst of thee. For I will gather all nations against Jerusalem. For I will gather all nations against Jerusalem. This is the time we're living in right now. All nations coming against Jerusalem. Israel of the 12 tribes and Judah. All nations coming against Judah and Israel of the 12 tribes. Okay, particularly here in America, Babylon. All right? They're against the so-called African American Negro. For I will gather all nations against Jerusalem to battle, and the city should be taken. Yep, the city should be taken, and the houses rifled, and the women ravaged. And a lot of our women are getting ravaged. The so-called black women, the Judite women, the Hamite women, the Benjamin women, they're getting ravaged. Okay, Mexicans is ravishing, taking our women, the Judite women, the so-called African American black women, kidnapping them, butchering them, raping them, ravaging them. And the women ravished, and half of the city should go forth into captivity, and the residue of the people should not be cut off from the city. Okay? And it says, then should the Lord go forth and fight against those nations. And the Lord is going to fight for us. Then should the Lord go forth and fight against those nations. And when he fought in the day of battle, okay, he's going to lift up that standard, man. And Michael is going to come out and fight for us. Michael, the archangel, the great prince, he's going to stand and fight for the children of Israel. Okay? So, yeah. So, here's another one. Zechariah chapter 12, verse 9. And it should come to pass in that day that I will seek to destroy all the nations. Zechariah chapter 12, verse 9. And it should come to pass in that day that I will seek to destroy all the nations that come against Jerusalem. The children of Israel of the 12 tribes over there in the Holy Land. Children of Israel of the 12 tribes, Judah, and the Holy Land. Okay? This is Micah chapter 5, verse 8. Listen to this. Let's go, let me see. All right. Okay, Micah chapter 5, verse 8, and it reads, it says, and the remnant of Jacob should be among the Gentiles, in the midst of many people, as a lion among the beasts of the forest, as young lion among the flocks of sheep, who if he go through both, tread it down and tear it in pieces, and none can deliver. So when he redeem us, we're going to just devour you and tear you in pieces. We ain't going to even give you a chance. Because we're going to be given that power, man, starting with the 144,000 elect. Okay? This is Micah chapter 5, verse 9. Thy hand should be lifted up upon thy adversaries and y'all enemies. All right? Thy hand should be lifted up upon thy adversaries and all the enemies, and all thy enemies should be cut off. And you're going to be cut off, man. We're going to put you down. Okay? So that's coming. Yep. And it should come to pass in that day. It should come to pass in that day, saith the Lord, that I will cut off thy horses out of the midst of thee, and I will destroy thy chariots. And going all the way down to Micah chapter 5, verse 14, and I will pluck up thy grubs out of the midst of thee, so will I destroy thy cities. And he's going to destroy your cities, man. Plagues, calamities, floods, earthquakes, fires, and that nuclear thermal fire, man. Incognito missiles. Okay? And I will pluck up thy grubs out of the midst of thee, so I will destroy thy cities. And I will execute vengeance and anger and fury upon the heathen, such as they have not heard. Micah chapter 5, verse 15 again. And I will execute vengeance and anger and fury upon the heathen, such as they have not heard. So that's coming, man. That's coming. This is Obadiah chapter 1, verse 15. For the day of the Lord is near upon all the heathen. As thou hast done, it should be done unto thee. Thy reward should return upon thy own head. For the day of the Lord is near upon all the heathen. As thou hast done, it should be done unto thee. Thy reward should return upon thy own head. So great judgment is coming to you, Gentile heathens. Okay? You Edomites. You Edomites. Okay? Yes. So all what y'all done to the so-called blacks, God's chosen people, the children of Israel, is going to come. All right? So get ready. Y'all waging war on us. So you are not, let me say this, you Mexicans are not Israelites, and you guys in these camps, okay? We know you took the bag. You sold out, you camp leaders, you camp members. Lying saying these Mexicans are Israelites, that's a lie. So many brothers exposing y'all. They don't fit the curses. They don't, it's a bloodline. Comes from the blood. They not of the bloodline. We got woolly hair, they got straight hair. Okay? They're gentrifying our black communities, killing our people. They don't even claim you as a people. Okay? All right? They buy and sell as they please. They one of the most unregulated races here in America. Mexicans. Okay? They open up all kind of business. They're supported by the government. They support it. They got unity. They don't fit the curses. All right? They got the numbers. Okay? They organize. They got the money. They got the power. They got these cartels, militaries. These are not our people. Okay? They are enemies to the children of Israel. They came against us. They have touched the apple of the Most High and the Son's eye. We are the apple of the Father, the Son's eye, and his Son's eye. Okay? They touched the apple of his eye. They touched God people. They touched the Most High's people and his Son. So that being said, I'd like to give all praise and glory and honor to the Most High, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Barakatah. Shalom Israel, Shalom Judah. Stay prayed up. Keep the spirits on high because he's coming. And one more. Michael is about to get ready to fight for us. Stand up and fight because it's going to be that bad. We see where the trouble is coming. Across the border, all these Gentile nations, these heathens coming. All right? To come against the children of Israel, God's chosen people. So-called African-American Negroes, Judah, and the rest of the 12 tribes. It says, and at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince, which standeth up for the children, which standeth for the children of thy people, and there should be a time of trouble, such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time. And at that time, thy people should be delivered, everyone that should be found written in the book. Okay, you will be delivered if you found written in the book of life. Okay, so Michael is going to come out and fight for us, stand up and fight for us, because we're going to need his help. It's going to be that bad. And wisdom and knowledge should be the stability of thy time, strength and salvation. The fear of the Lord is his treasure. Isaiah chapter 33, verse 6. Okay, that being said, keep the spirits on high and stay prayed up. Fear the Most High in this day of time. And the time is coming with a prudent man that's going to have to keep silence and hide himself because of the evil times, the evil days, redeeming the time because the days are evil. All these nations coming against us. They making a move. Start with Esau, Edom, and the rest of these Gentile nations. Shalom Israel, Shalom Judah. Shalom.